5 songs inspired by tragedy. There's many of examples of anthems being associated with tragic accidents in music. Perhaps the earliest example is American Pie by Don McLean. American Pie is a long but great song. Still to this day, the biggest hit of Don McLean's career, coming out in the early 70s, largely touched on the day the music died. Plane wreck happened February 3rd, 1959. In a cornfield in Clear Lake, Iowa, Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, the Big Bopper J.P. Richardson, and pilot Roger Peterson. Before the song American Pie, it really wasn't referred to as anything but a horrific accident involving 4 young individuals. After this, it was the day the music died, and now when you mention February 3rd, 1959, you will mention, obviously, the date the music died. If you're a parent, or a good one at that, losing your child is your worst fear imaginable. And with Eric Clapton, unfortunately, it happened to him. It also helped spawn one of his biggest songs. If you've seen the movie Rush from the early 90s, surely you've heard this song before. It was Tears in Heaven. Eric Clapton, one of his biggest hits. It was about his son Connor, who unfortunately fell to his death out of the 53rd floor of an apartment in New York City. Tragedy feels like it's underselling it. That is flat out heartbreak, like I said. For any parent who claims to be a good one, that is the ultimate heartbreak. Anything happening to your kid, especially something like that. Eric Clapton used music to heal himself and to write this song for his son, and from there on it became one of Eric's best songs. Sunday Bloody Sunday by U2, one of the most tragic events in the history of Ireland. An Irish band composing a song about what happened a few years beforehand in Northern Ireland. Obviously, Bloody Sunday being January 30th, 1972 in Derry, Northern Ireland, when British soldiers killed 13, later confirmed to be 14, unarmed civilians during a civil rights march. U2, being an Irish band originating from Dublin, wrote a song about it, Sunday Bloody Sunday, a couple years later. To this day, one of their biggest and best songs to date. Despite what some folks think, it was not a rebel song by any means. It was merely a protest song highlighting the events that happened a couple years beforehand. How many songs do you know that directly pay tribute to a sinking ship? Well, if you said The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot, you'd be correct. This one hits home for me. Not only was it a great song, it sunk in the waters of my state. I live in Michigan. It sunk in Lake Superior. November 30th, 1975, Gordon Lightfoot knew about the tragedy, how all 29 crew members died during a storm, and he essentially wrote this song to pay tribute to the fallen men. Gordon Lightfoot, being Canadian, obviously being accustomed to Great Lakes shipping and how close and dangerous those Great Lakes can be as a Canadian, how close the Edmund Fitzgerald was to Canadian waters, he wrote this song as a tribute to the fallen men and to highlight the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Candle in the Wind by Elton John, so nice he wrote it twice, essentially. He changed the lyrics of it from the Marilyn Monroe version to Princess Diana. Both songs, though, both versions were a hit. The first version, obviously written by Bernie, came with a tribute to Marilyn Monroe, essentially. How fame consumed her, never really got to understand how and who Marilyn Monroe was because of all that fame and glory. The second version, obviously, for Princess Diana. The lyrics largely were the same thing, but he did change some things around to fit Princess Diana more. I believe he performed this song at her funeral in 1997.